So hungry today. Even more so than
You
usual.
don't look so good. Are you all right?
The floor. It keeps moving. How can you stand it? How can you even stand?
I'm not the best person to ask about discomfort. I can't feel pain, remember?
Oh, right.
I still can't believe what happened in Niez. Even now. As a lord, my expectations for Almadria were already pretty low. But the way she treated human lives like they're mere playthings.
Yeah. And it wasn't as if the situation in Niaz was improving much to begin with.
You mean Deadheim?
The whole reason I started fighting back was because of my anger at the atrocities of Renan rule. Back then, all I had to worry about was fighting the Renans for the sake of the Danans. But then I met Shion and the people of Menancia, and things became a lot more complicated. It's even messier now that we have to worry about Danans like Deadheim.
It used to be that the Danans were the ones in the right, and the Renans were the ones in the wrong. Though, maybe that was just a biased perspective from being on the side of the oppressed.
Exactly. I'll never tolerate the Renans ruling over us. But nothing ever ends up being as black and white as you'd expect it to be either. That's clear to me now.
That said, even putting aside bad apples like Deadheim for a moment, you may be able to free the Danan people, but that won't undo 300 years of oppression. It'll be hard for them to not give in to their resentment. I think maybe that's why I clung to our dream so hard back in Menancia.
Even if his motivations weren't pure, Dohalim has a good heart. He didn't sink to the depths Almadria did.
You don't understand. I'm saying that it goes deeper than that. This hierarchy we live in, it's not solely something the Renans invented. I remember a story Rinwell once told me. She said before the Renans invaded, we Danans had our own class system. We are the ones who divided ourselves. I saw it in Deadheim's eyes. He wanted to rule over others.
To hear Bayfon tell it, Deadheim wasn't always that way.
But as time went on, and he and the Darkwings fought the Renans, he eventually changed. I guess what I'm getting at is, if we defeat the Renans but just go back to the way things were before, was there even any point in fighting?
But that world isn't the one you want to create, right?
Maybe not. But to tell you the truth, these days I'm not so sure that dream is even possible.
You have your promise to Megal, though. Your home and the people of Menancia are depending on you.
I know. My brother. He truly believed in his dream of coexistence. And I suppose, even now, many people still do. And then, there's you.
Who, me?
You and Shion.
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, then let me spell it out for you. How many other Renans and Danans do you know that get on as spectacularly as the two of you?
I don't know that I'd say spectacularly.
Well, I suppose it's really all a matter of how you look at it, isn't it?
I really don't see what you're getting.
I think I'm getting seasick again. Sorry. Can you just give me a wide berth for a few minutes?
Just tell her how you feel. Ugh. Holy hell, this story is boring.
Do you think Law is okay?
If you're worried, why don't you ask him yourself?
Yeah. I think maybe I should apologize to him too. I should apologize to all of you, really.
Us too?
Well, I was kinda lying to you all this whole time. I was blind to everything except my own revenge.
You
I
were?
never
How
even
could we know?
considered
You
the
didn't say
struggles all of
anything.
you might be facing.
We all have things we'd prefer to keep to ourselves, Rinwell. So what if you had something to hide? It doesn't undo the good that you've done.
Lying is
people
not the
that you've
same
helped
as not
serve along the
divulging
way.
information.
But that's not what I mean.
I know. You're talking about Almadria, right?
Yeah. I hate her, Alphen. I can't stop hating her. Even just thinking about her makes my head feel like it's going to explode. But it's not just her. I think about the way Law looked at me. I hated the Lord who killed my parents. And I hated the Renans I had to travel alongside. And yet, Cislodia's Danans backstab each other like it's a normal way of life. And Mahag Sar has people like Deadeye. But then there are people like Law and Shion. It's all just too much. I don't know what to think anymore.
Yeah, people aren't black and white, you know.
Law never said that you had to forgive Almadria. It's only natural you would hate your family's murderer. But
what?
Law left home because of how much he hated his father. As a result of that, well, I think Law spent a lot of time thinking about how they never got to make things right. And if I had to guess, killing Ganabel didn't make any of those feelings go away. Law let revenge fuel him, and I think now he's afraid you'll do something you'll regret.
Afraid?
Whatever happens to Almadria when this is all over is up to you. I'll respect whatever choice you make. Just think it over carefully for me, okay? You still have time.
Okay. Thanks, Alphen. Say, back then, after the fight, I think I really made Shion mad. I don't know, though. Maybe it just looked that way. But I guess I just can't seem to understand how she feels. Do you know why she gets like that?
Shion's... She can be a tough nut to crack. She doesn't really talk a whole lot about herself.
It's just what she said about hate being a source of strength. Where did that come from? I wonder how it feels, not being able to hold another person's hand.
Well, she can hold my hand, so she knows what it's like now. But I get what you're saying. Oh, it's back to the crazy, wacky music.
Lean much further, you'll go overboard. Keeping an eye out for Almadria's ship?
I'm looking at the ocean.
Oh, okay.
The ocean?
Yeah. The waves. They help me think.
What about?
This world is filled with natural wonders. The icy air and white peaks of Cislodia. The lush green glades of Menancia. The harsh wastes of Calaglia. But Menancia has its Lake of Death, and Nias its ruins.
And also the Lake of Death in the center now.
And they wouldn't be there if it weren't for that contest.
Pardon me.
Say we actually managed to put a stop to the crown contest for good. What do you think will happen between the Danans and the Renans then?
You first.
Well, I want to believe that the coexistence we saw in Menancia can happen elsewhere, too. It's insane for all of us to keep fighting. If Menancia can do it, so can everyone else.
Yeah, I think that would be good too. A world where everyone can get along. At least, that's what I've come to believe.
You sure have changed.
I can't lie to you. Since I was young, I've looked down on the Danans too. But I've seen a lot. And I see things differently now. I've seen so many ugly and terrible things in this world. And yet, they didn't come from just the Danans. And the good things too. They didn't come from just the Renans. Kindness and cruelty exist on both sides. A person's race doesn't factor into it. So, I guess you're right after all, Alphen. I have changed. You know, I've never actually touched another person like this.
Shion.
Just hug
Ever
each
since
other,
I was
just
on Lenegis,
once.
I've always been alone. Even after I came to Dana. Always.
Uh-huh.
And now?
Do you still not remember your past?
No. Sometimes it feels like I can almost remember. But then this mask stops me.
The mask keeps you from remembering why you have the mask in the first place. It's a little ironic, isn't it?
A little.
What? That's not what irony means.
Well, it won't be long now before you're rid of those thorns, you know? Only 2 lords remain. And once you have their master course, you'll be able to create the Renis Alma, right? Then you can... Shion?
Sorry, it's nothing. Promise.
Oh, the story is so inco-fucking-herent.
soon.
It's giving me a headache.
I never could have made it this far on my own. I have everyone to thank for that. Including... especially you, Alphen.
Don't worry about it. We're friends, after all.
Right, just friends.
Yeah, we are.
Ugh, this is so hard to watch. Maybe they don't love each other. Well, that's fine. Then don't make all these weird,
Wonder how
awkward
much longer
fucking
it's going to
things.
be before we catch up to Almadria. I'll ask Mahabar.
Not every guy has to be in love with every girl, but Jesus Christ. Give me some romance. At least in the other games, like, people admitted it to each other, and you can see a relationship growing between them. And with Lloyd, it could be with anybody. I mean, canonically, it's supposed to be Colette, but, you know. I'm more of a Lloyd Rain person myself. Is it cruel that Rain's gonna grow old and Lloyd's gonna die? Maybe.
Look who's up.
But if he keeps
Good
his Crucis
timing.
crystal, he can live with
Closing in on
her.
her stern as we speak.
He doesn't, though, because, you know, TOS2 exists and it was shit.
That's the ship?
Ew, it looks kind of like
She's
a bug.
huge. Law, go gather the others, will you?
No need, we're all right
Think you'll be
here.
able to flank them without getting spotted?
Yeah, with the fog as our ally, I think I might just pull it off. Long as we ain't too noisy, we should be okay.
What'll you do if they catch on to us?
Not much I can do. Ship that size, they'll probably blow us to bits before we ready cannons.
Well, I'm glad you're honest. And we make it there without any problems at all. That's good. No tension. I mean, that's a nitpick. There doesn't need to be tension in this scene. It's just like...
Persistent little things. Evidently, I shouldn't have spared the wretched vermin.
Yeah, why did you? What's your deal? What's to do with those clothes? Like, I'm doing my best to make eye contact with you.
Hungry already, my dear? Worry not, for you shall have plenty to feast upon shortly.
She's so evil. I mean, that was like, out of all the lords, she's been the smartest so far.
Perfect. You managed to get us right up beside them.
I'll stay with the ship so we can leave as soon as you're done.
Good thing the ships
Then
are
let's
both
find
moving at the
Almadria.
same speed, or they're not moving at all. Or else, you know, you get fucked over. So what is this monstrosity called? The Tartarus? Mobile Fortress Gradia. Ooh, level 25 enemies. That'll really show me. Members who have left return to your party. Well, that's good.
Shion,
Certainly would have sucked if they stayed
I
gone.
want to thank you.
What brought this on?
What you said helped to calm me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Don't mention it.
Now that's what I call a ship.
Yeah. The biggest one in all of Mahagsar. So big that
Like,
it
this
took
didn't need to
years
be a skit.
construct.
They could have said this
For all
on the
we
ship
know,
while looking at
Kelsolith
it.
may well have been smuggling materials to help build it. In which case it would
And
be
they
yet
put
another
all the
mistake on my
story and
part.
character development in
We
skits.
don't know that she was only getting materials from Menancia.
You think it's possible that they might have come from elsewhere too? Yeah, I guess I could see it.
But what do you think Almadria plans to do from here on out? Now that she's abandoned her realm and
It's like,
sailed
you know,
out
let's
to
get on the
sea?
ship and then talk
She'll be
about the
filling her
ship. Like, that's a
coffers
good
with gold,
idea.
most likely. Then she'll sit back and enjoy the show as the other lords duke it out. Or something to that effect.
I don't know,
at
man.
least.
If I did,
I wouldn't put it past her.
She's strong.
if
yet
I wasn't
shrewd,
such an
and will
analytical
stoop to any
person,
low.
then maybe I could
Dangerous
just
one
turn my
indeed.
brain off and
She's
enjoy
not the first,
the
and she
pop-up
won't be
book
the
for what it
last.
was. But like,
This is a lord we're talking about, remember?
because I've
Sounds like
experienced
you've made up your mind already.
games within this
There
own
was never
series
anything to
that,
decide.
or within this
No one
very
who can
series, not within
smile
this own
like
series, that
while
doesn't make any
doing what
goddamn
she
sense.
did deserves to roam free.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, that's why we're here. You know, because other games in this series did a better job at storytelling. Like, it's hard for me to look at this game and not be disappointed.
This might not be the best time, but if you have a minute.
I mean, you're right.
That mask of yours, it was shattered by a blow from Balsef when you fought back in Calaglia, correct?
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I thought I was a god.
That was years ago.
Balsef's brute strength was in a league all its own. Yet half the mask remains. It's remarkably durable. Too durable to be Danon in origin.
Shion said the same thing. As if the fact I was wearing it meant
Did
there
you
had
get
to
the
be more to
copper
me
Sin
than met
Cleaver
the
armor
eye.
for Alpha? It looks dope.
You recall
I think I
your
might
name
have it, yeah.
when the mask broke, I hear.
Yeah, that's right. Although to tell you the truth, I'm a little scared what might happen when I lose the remaining half.
Well,
Then
that
again,
has
the
to
idea
happen
of
at some
not doing
point.
Something because I'm afraid scares me even more. That's why I go on fighting.
Only he who first faces the night catches a glimpse of the dawn.
Come again?
What?
It's nothing. Forget
Just
I
too
said
poetic
anything.
for my own good, sorry. I can't see the world without making a poem out of it. I'd say I might have it. It's because it looks like Dark Souls, and you like Dark Souls so much. It's alright. I'm a fan of the black myself. Now, if his armor was black and red, then we'd have something else going on here. I don't know, silver and gold. I mean, I guess that's alright. I like the base color, not so much the blue. I forgot he had eyes. That's funny. I'm so used to seeing him with the eye patch that I forgot he technically has an eye under there. Il Karash traditional attire. He obviously needs half-frame glasses. Too bad we won't have any hats so far. Weapon scale. I like red capes. Give everyone shades? No. It's hard to turn you down like that, but I'm not a fan of giving everybody sunglasses. I don't know, some of these are just so goofy. And it takes me out of it. I mean, glasses, like so many of these like characters, glasses really works for them. We'll do that. Looks pretty good. It does. I mean, you know, it does. But for me, it takes me out of the seriousness of the game. Okay, so that move does not launch. Like, I've tried using it before, but it does not launch. It just puts me in the air. Okay, that time it launched. Like, if they're a heavy enemy, you can't use Severing Wind.
Small, but a victory nonetheless.